Hey, if you're looking to create reports from Smartlead.ai, but are frustrated with its extremely limited options and its really poorly designed global analytics page, this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to show you two reports. The first report is a complete data dump of all the campaigns that have been sent from my account. And then using that data dump, I have a pivot table in place that auto-populates and sorts that data into something meaningful that helps me make decisions on the fly. The second report that I'm going to show you is a very similar version of the same thing, except that it's a client-only report. So in that particular report, depending on the client you pick, only that client's campaign data will be shown to them. And once again, there's a pivot table that makes sense of all that data and makes it extremely easy to understand. And the third thing that I'm going to show you is how I trigger these reports to update automatically so I don't have to go in or set a timer or a reminder or something to manually update them. All of this is completely automated. With that being said, let's dive into the video. I hope you enjoy this one. All right, so I just logged into my Smartlead and I want to show you what it looks like here. We see top level analytics. That's what Smartlead calls it, but they really are kind of useless. You know what I mean? Like if I take a look at this campaign here, right? 598 emails were sent and 115 of them were opened. This doesn't really give me any useful information, because the useful information is actually when I go in here and look, oh, okay, so I sent two versions of email A, 100 each, and 18 were opened on variant A and 19 were opened on variant B. And then, no responses. That's funny. No replies or responses. But basically, that's the level of information we actually need to be able to make any qualitative analysis and decisions on how our campaigns are doing. The experience that I have with Smartlead is that in order to get that kind of data, you have to click into every single campaign and then copy this down, or like select all and copy, basically go through some kind of friction and some kind of pain to get any meaningful data. So I have a solution for that. What I did was I created a script that taps into the Smartlead API under my account and just extracts all the information that I need for me. So let me show you. So this is the report where I have my entire account information dumped here, all campaigns. If you look at it here, it even tells me whether or not this campaign is associated with a client. So basically what's happening is I'm pulling campaign ID information, the name of the campaign, the date it was created, whether or not it's associated with a client, which email are we talking about, email 1, 2, 3 in the sequence, which variant, if there are variants of that email, how many of them were sent, how many of them were opened, so on and so forth. So, and basically all of the master inbox response types that we have, the lead categories, I have them counted here. Now, if I show you what this looks like, by the way, this pivot table is also pre-created in this report, so we don't have to do anything. Just run the script and it populates. So if you look at this table over here, you can see that it's broken down by month. So if I open in June, so far I've only sent one campaign myself, but if I open May, first of all the campaigns are available pretty much just like how they are over here, but now I can actually sort them by when they were sent. So all the campaigns are available, and these top level analytics that I was saying are kind of trash, they're still there, but here's the magic. I can just expand it, and now it's showing me, okay, for email 1, 225 emails were sent, 75 were opened, that's a 33% open rate, right? Now I can very quickly just go through some of my other campaigns, just open another one, and look, oh, okay, so email 1 for this campaign had a 60% open rate, but email 1 for this campaign had a 30% open rate. Now, obviously, I want to double down on this email 1, right, or this version. What did I do here that works so well? Because whatever I did here halved my open rates. Anyways, I'm just giving you an example, or rather I'm showing you an example of how this report can be used really fast to make decisions on what's working and what's not working. And there is no way to get this meaningful information out of Smartlead. So I'll show you how the script works. If you go to extensions and go to app script, this is the script that I'm running. Now it's as you can see, it's a nice and decent long script. If I hit run, so execution just began. Over here, everything deleted. So it deletes the entire table. And now it's just going to run and repopulate. So since this is pulling all the data from my account, this will take some time. So I'm just going to pause and come back when this is done. While that's happening, actually one more thing I want to show you is this, the pivot table is also dynamic. Since the data is being populated right now, so is the pivot table. So it's kind of cool to see things just, popping up and the numbers increasing and doing their thing. All right, so now it pulled all the data from my Smartlead account. So there's like 53 campaigns or 53 rows of campaigns that I've sent. Now all this data is here. I've already shown you how this pivot table works. So these are all the campaigns that I sent for myself. And I'll show you a client's version. Now this is where I can see all the campaigns that were sent for my clients, or rather that I sent for my clients. And that brings me to the second thing. Now, obviously, we want to be able to have this kind of reporting available for our clients as well. But what we don't want is for them to have access to basically everything. And more so because there's just so much stuff in there that's not relevant to them. Why make them go through a whole bunch of data that's not relevant to them and will probably just end up frustrating them or confusing them at worst? The solution to that is to have a separate script. Now, this is a client-only script. If I show you here, there's significantly less rows here. That means that there's only been these many, 12, I guess, 13 minus 1, 12 campaigns that have been sent out so far for this. And here's what that script, I'm just going to run that script for you. So this is the client script that I have. So if I click run, whoops, everything disappears and it's going to repopulate. Same with the pivot table. It just populates on its own. All right, so that's basically it. That's done. Now, the third thing that I want to show you in this video, obviously having these up-to-date reports is a huge advantage, right? Whenever you pull up the report, it's basically going to be fresh data. So instead of having to go in and run the report every time manually, there's a thing over here called triggers. So if I go to triggers, you will see over here, if I edit this one, so for my client report, I have it set to run every 6 hours. So every 6 hours, this report is going to run and it's going to completely refresh all the data for this report. So what this does is anytime my client opens up this report, he knows that this data is up to date within 6 hours, which is pretty good, especially for cold emails. Like that's fairly decent. And if you think that that's not good enough, there are options to change that. You can just go here, hour timer, and then pick every hour, 2 hours, whatever you like, right? 6 hours seemed good to me, that's why I picked it. And for my own personal one, the all campaign data, the big massive data dump that I have, for that, the trigger that I have here is I have set it to run at a time between 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. every day. So that means basically my data is going to be completely fresh up until the day before, which is great for making decisions and whatnot. So these are the three things I wanted to show you here. The two different reports, all campaign data, and then the client only side report. Because what I can do with this client only report now is I have just shared this exact sheet with my client. He can come in, he looks through whatever data he wants. All of it is only relevant to him. It's exactly his data, and he's free to use his data to draw his own conclusions and his own analysis if he wants to. And the third thing that I showed you is how to set timers, how to trigger these scripts at a set time or a set interval so it automatically refreshes the data in a report and keeps it fresh. All right, so these are the automated reports that I'm using from Smartlead right now. Leave me a comment down below. What kind of reports do you need for your own agency and for your own clients? I'm currently working on a public version of these reports that I showed you in this video. If you're interested in getting those reports with the scripts and everything, basically the entire A to Z of how I created this stuff and how you can set it up in your own environment, just click the link in the description box below and sign up on that landing page to be notified when this is ready. Now with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave me a like if you got a lot out of this. And if you have any questions or if there's some questions around reporting, or maybe you have a report that you want made, let me know in the comments below and I'll give it a shot.